Apple and its suppliers, corporate social responsibility. Apple and its suppliers, corporate social responsibility is an article created to enlighten readers on research conducted in the Apple firm between 2013 and 2014. This case study is designed to demonstrate the bad working conditions of Apple's suppliers. Through these issues, the case analyzes the company's social responsibility in the claims and public opinion and how it was managed. The article's key includes Apple and its offshore suppliers Foxconn and Pegatron, all of whom are headquartered in China. The case came to light after the BBC and other news organizations reported on the mistreatment and deaths of Pegatron employees. According to the reports, Pegatron employees had to work excessive hours, up to 16 hours a day, which would sometimes continue for 18 consecutive days. Corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is a term that means the legitimate concern that a company has to steward its business within the context of society, create sustainable and healthy communities, and promote human rights. In other words, it's about using the business as an agent for change. CSR, especially regarding employee treatment, is essential to businesses because a primary reason for businesses is to turn a profit. According to Park and Tran, the way this happens is called the internal negative feedback loop. Public opinion. Apple is undoubtedly in the public spotlight all the time, likely due to its sheer magnitude, yet the public's reaction to the charges of terrible working conditions was not taken lightly. Apple was considered deceptive and dishonest regarding the appalling working circumstances, which included death and suicides, following repeated crimes after the business had already made several pledges to reform its policies. The headlines about Apple's corporate social responsibility drew a lot of attention to the firm from people who have no idea what is going on in nations other than their own. This demonstrates the importance of the media in informing society, especially about injustices. International business. Apple's corporate duties came under fire after allegations of poor labor treatment at manufacturing locations surfaced. Despite being independent firms, Foxconn and Pegatron were working under the mandate of an international organization, which was responsible for the employees' welfare. Unfortunately, Apple turned a blind eye to these injustices, which changed consumers' perceptions of the corporation, forcing some to avoid purchasing its products. Labor practices. Labor practices in international business have advantages and disadvantages. Therefore, it is always important to examine each potential option and assess its benefits and drawbacks. Advantages. Cost. Labor costs can be lowered using freely available, low-cost foreign workers. Resourcefulness. One benefit of using foreign workers is that businesses can tap into international markets to locate employees. For example, a business looking for software engineers in Hawaii might find readily available and qualified talent in India or China. Disadvantages. The local workforce may not be available or qualified for the job. Workplace safety. Safety problems can arise from having a foreign employee who might not understand or be familiar with the needed safety procedures and regulations. Having a foreign employee who will have difficulty communicating with colleagues, supervisors, and clients is also a workplace safety challenge. These problems can lead to workplace accidents and thus pose legal liability issues. The road ahead. From what I have learned in this course, I believe Apple ought to have formally apologized and demonstrated their actions to resolve the problem. Lee et al. State, perhaps it could even go so far as to bring production in-house in an attempt to regain control. This would be an excellent strategy, and it would put consumers at rest. Unfortunately, I believe Apple will make no adjustments as long as it earns money. Furthermore, the unfavorable responses of its Chinese clients could make such a move hard.